All right, so a second dose of Kofi Kinata, ne BBR set. So we're on next to the news review, and I'm here with Nemeze.
Yes.
In fact, we're both Nemeze.
Yes, we are.
Nemeze.
We are.
All right, so what's in the newspapers? Nima, you probably want to start.
Okay, so I'm going to start with the Daily Graphic this morning. And on the front page, dealing with challenges, NPP remains the best option. President insists. Of course, I mean, he wasn't going to insist that any other political party would be the best option, so the point is kind of moot. But anyway, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has said that the new Patriotic Party government has the policies and programs to confront the challenges of the country. While admitting that Ghana was currently faced with some difficulties and challenges, he said the NPP government remained the best option to overcome these challenges. Other stories on the front page of the Daily Graphic. Saglemi housing brouhaha, Collins Dowda, 4 others granted bail. Changes in police hierarchy. Government releases 260 million Ghana cedis to pay fertilizer companies. Let me just do a quick glimpse into almost all the stories in the Daily Graphic this morning. So Nigeria seizes $54 million of pangolin parts and elephant tusks. Wow. And these were bound for Southeast Asia. The government has intercepted them. There's an opinion piece, Nana Akoko Sapong at 83, worth knowing. Writing, is it a safe or dangerous enterprise? In politics, let's collaborate to promote democracy. Angolan president is urging Ghanaians. President swears in second special prosecutor. He says that the government will resource the office. Ghana to host Cocoa Initiative Secretariat, signs agreement with Côte d'Ivoire. And then Pastor Otabil has been speaking at Greater Works. He says Africa must use COVID-19 to industrialize. Other stories, 2 envoys bid President Akufo-Addo farewell. And in sports, Grand Fondo Ghana race on August 22nd. So Ghana will host its first international cycling race of the year, the Grand Fondo Ghana cycling race in the Greater Accra and Eastern region on Sunday, August 22nd. Also, just a few other stories, keeping our schools safe and secure from the COVID-19 pandemic. And that's always a source of worry, isn't it? Because our children, their tendency to take off their masks and all that is a little bit high. So we need to keep our eyes on that. The U.S. is going to make vaccination a requirement for entrance in the very near future. Remember that the U.S. has vaccinated over 70% of their population. And so definitely being very, very careful there. That story about the Saglemi housing brouhaha also featuring, we know that 2 of those Mahama ministers and others, their bail came up to $322 million. I think there were about 5 or so lots of money there. Police fix the country conveners meet after protest. So the acting IGP, Dr. Akufu Dampare, yesterday met with some conveners of the Fix the Country demonstration at the police headquarters in Accra. It was a post-demonstration interaction and served as a platform to review the general conduct of Wednesday's events, including lessons learned. So some good stuff there. The Arrive Alive campaign is to go nationwide next month. The National Road Safety Authority will, by the end of this month, roll out the Arrive Alive campaign nationwide to reduce road crashes and fatalities. And we had that conversation yesterday about how much that number has gone up this year, the number of road crashes, the number of people dead due to road crashes. Now, Kofi Apalu is making a very important point on page 18 of the Daily Graphic. He says shift midweek holidays to Fridays. Now, that sounds like a pretty good idea. I know in the UK, almost all of the holidays, actually all, are on a Monday. So you end up with a long weekend.
Yeah.
And so, maybe shift the midweek holidays to Fridays. So good point there. Let me just see if there are a few more. Scabies outbreaks suspected in Northeast region. Still dealing with that. Behind every person, behind every number, there is a person. Now, World Tourism Day is coming up in a couple of weeks, well, in a few weeks, and tourism has really been affected by COVID-19. And so it's important to put the spotlight on that for a second. And on the back page, government procures 3,408 vaccine fridges and cold boxes. That's good to know. Perhaps we're anticipating the arrival of some more vaccines, and so making space for them. And also, Nyanyano Road works progress. That's it from me for the Daily Graphic.
And talking about the vaccines, we know that the African Union is getting in some 220 million vaccines coming in. And it's by an initiative by the countries, the African countries themselves. So they put money together and they said they were going to buy the vaccines. I'm wondering why they had not done this a long time ago.
A long time ago, yeah.
Because, yes, courtesy that arrangement, they're getting 220 million vaccines, Johnson & Johnson vaccines coming in, and apparently they're buying a total of 400 million. And I'm like, wow, if we did this so...
and this is an African collaboration. Allow us to have taken our time to get into it. Most importantly, we have done it.
But it's good news.
And we're very proud, aren't we?
Good news.
Yeah.
So they finally they finalized the production of the vaccines in South Africa. And South Africa is going to get the first shot at it. All right, let's go to the Daily Dispatch. And on the front page, MPP's flag bearer will win 2024. That's President Akufo-Addo. And
of course, again, he was not going to say NDC's.
And there's a photo, or there are photos of 4 possible aspirants, I believe. Dr. Mamadou Baumia, Alan Tremanting, and Joe Gate, and Dr. Konedu Apreku. And then again on the front page of the Daily Dispatch, Mama hints again of leading NDC in 2024 elections. I'll bring you that story because I find it quite interesting. I'm sure you want to know why or how he dropped those hints. The University of Ghana slapped with $165 million judgment debt.
Gosh.
Okay, so let me get to that first. So the University of Ghana is to pay a judgment debt of $165 million for terminating a contract in 2018. The order was made by a U.S. federal court. The court indicated that the university defaulted on a flagship developmental partnership program. So that's...
I'm wondering if the University of Ghana has $165 million.
Well, they can find it.
In the first place.
They don't have it. I'm not sure they have it, but I'm sure they can find it. If push comes to shove, I guess some assets of theirs would have to be taken.
Wow.
Yeah, and they have a lot of assets. All right, so let's go to the back page where the 2 stories I mentioned are. So the first one, MPP's presidential candidate will win 2024 polls. That's Akufo-Addo. So he goes on to say, President Akufo-Addo says, I'm confident the party's presidential candidate will win election 2024. And he was speaking at the MPP's 29th anniversary celebration currently ongoing in Accra. And he said, the party has delivered on its promises to Ghanaians since winning power in 2016 and retaining power in the 2020 elections. Well, that's for Ghanaians to decide whether indeed you have performed as president. And then Mama hints of comeback in first outing after defeats. So former President John Mahama has hinted of leading the NDC again in a presidential election in Ghana. In his first outing after the dismissal of his election petition by the Supreme Court, Mr. Mahama charged supporters in the Ketu South municipality of the Volta region Wednesday, August 4, not to be disappointed with the outcome of the December 7, 2020 election. So he says, so I want to thank you very much and to say that this is virtually my first public outing after the election in 2020. He told a gathering at Salakope, where he donated some relief items to victims of the latest tidal waves there. I want to take the opportunity through you, the people here, to thank all our brothers and sisters in the Volta region for the strong support that you showed me during the elections. You didn't disappoint me at all. You did your part. So let's get to this other part. He says, let us not be disappointed. Let us not be discouraged. They say, he who fights and runs away, or he who fights and loses, lives to fight another day. And so what we need to do is to put us on reorganizing the party, selecting a new leadership, and getting a flag bearer to lead us back into the next battle. And I'm sure that in 2024, by the grace of God, by the grace of Maulisa, NDC will come back into office. Okay. I still don't get the hint. Did you get the hint? Okay, but yeah. Yes, well, he's probably saying that we're going to go for it again.
But he talks about new leadership.
Yeah.
So
maybe new leadership as in executive.
Right, but not new leadership.
Not new leadership. Parts. Okay, so that's those are the main stories in the Daily Dispatch. But there's some other stories you may want to read. Mahama, on why he was coming back in 2020. So the Daily Dispatch is bringing back a story, an article they put out back then, and an evaluation of the contribution of the Dankwa Buzia tradition to Ghana's political development. And then the new special prosecutor, the new kid in his own shoes. That's a nice headline. I like that. Obeda Samoa on the challenges of democracy in Ghana. And that'll be it. There's one other story in the Daily Dispatch. It says Tamira Mensah Stock becomes first U.S. black woman to win gold in wrestling. And immediately, I'm just thinking about so many Ghanaians. I mean, it sounds like she's a Ghanaian.
Yeah, from the Mensah.
From the Mensah. And, that's not the only name that has popped up at the Olympics. There's several of them, especially in the U.S. team and in some other, even Japan. There was a Ghanaian whose name popped up there. And I'm wondering, if we had giving these people all the support that they needed, we probably would have been winning many
medals for Ghana.
Medals,
yeah, but we're not giving them support, so they're winning medals for other countries.
Yeah.
Yep. Which, of course, they may be citizens of as well. We can't take that away from them.
Well, they have since become citizens.
Well, yeah. Or maybe they were born there.
Well, possible.
So, yeah. Many different reasons. Anyways, shall we go to the Daily Guide now? And my first story on the front page of the Daily Guide, President swears in special prosecutor. Saglami housing scandal. 2 Mahama ministers, others get $322 million bail. That's a lot of money. Government releases $800 million for contractors. NPP will win 2024. That's according to President Akufo-Addo. Again, of course, wouldn't expect anything different from him. Let's do some international stories. Bangladesh, at least 17 killed, groom injured as lightning hits his group on way to wedding party. So lightning has killed at least 17 people who were traveling to a wedding party in western Bangladesh and injured more than a dozen others, including the groom. Very sad. They were traveling by boat. They reached the bank of the Padma River and on the way to the bride's house. And that's where lightning struck, and a few of them died and some were injured. Very sad story. Very sad thing to happen on what's supposed to be one of the happiest days of your life. Okay, more than a dozen soldiers killed, several missing in Niger attack. Iran's new hardline President Ibrahim Raisi sworn in. Qatar Airways has been ordered to ground 13 Airbus planes. The president swears in special prosecutor. That story in almost all the newspapers. Big news there. We did hear the president say that he didn't regret appointing Martin Amadou. And is looking forward to what Special Prosecutor Kissi Agyabeng will do. So do all of us, actually, I think. Volta, Bono East emerging as hotspots for Delta variant. We had that conversation yesterday. Akufo-Addo's education infrastructure record unmatched. Okay. That's Isaac Bonsu. He's a youth activist with MPP. Let's do some showbiz. Nothing wrong with collaborating with secular musicians. That's Yao Sapong who has been speaking. He says there's no absolute problem with gospel musicians collaborating with secular artists. The fact is that in the Bible, Jesus told us that we should go out to those who haven't seen the light if we believe that we have seen the light. If they are in the world, we're supposed to bring them back to God. So he spoke to Rebecca Bex of Joy News. So, all right, interesting perspective there. I hate it when people lie. That's Kate Henshaw. She is upset with some of her colleagues who are willing to betray each other for selfish reasons. So she says, in an industry like mine, there are some who will stab you in the back just for the chance to be given a meal. But I've always prided myself in being 100% professional. Meanwhile, Rihanna has been named richest female musician. She has been declared a billionaire. And it's interesting because it's not actually because of her music per se, but more to do with her makeup, her fashion and beauty line.
So other businesses on the
So
side.
other businesses on the side. And very interesting.
The side hustle is
The
very
side
important.
hustle is a movement. It's a movement. Pricing model for cashew nut coming out. 5 entrepreneurs received $22,000 seed capital. This story, Israel, supports campus radio stations in Ghana. And this is Dr. Abubakar Siddiq Ahmed. He's the president of Campus Broadcasters Association. And he is called on government and institutions of higher learning to support the development of campus radio in Ghana. I feel like this story is very interesting because we here, for example, have a lot of people coming in from campus radio. Actually, our producer here on this show was the morning show host at Radio Universe, Echo Sam. And of course, many others, who have come to us from Radio Universe. So definitely, it's a good grooming ground for talent and for skills. So some support definitely would be nice. Why Ghana needs an indigenous shipping line. That's in the Daily Guide. Delay, Nanaba, others nominated for Goa 2021. Let me just do the back page. Ghana relay team for final. Pretty exciting, isn't it? Ghana's 4x100 men's relay team yesterday qualified for the final after finishing as one of the fastest losers in a time of 38 seconds at the Tokyo Olympics. And we're excited. We're excited either ways.
Yeah.
And we're wishing them all the best. They better move from the fastest losers to the fastest winners. Yes. The final is today, so we'll be looking out for them. If you say a prayer today, do say a prayer for them. Techi picks his bronze medal. Ghana's Samuel Techi was yesterday decorated with the bronze medal he won at the ongoing Olympics in Tokyo, Japan. George Anda Dreams FC hunts for soccer talents. And former Germany midfielder Michael Ballack's 18-year-old son, Emilio, has died in a quad bike crash near Lisbon, Portugal. May his soul rest in peace.
Okay, let's move to the Ghanaian Times. And on the front page, take-up fight against corruption in an independent, impartial manner. President to Kissi Agyabeng, which story we've seen in several of the newspapers. It was at a swearing in. Now, Collins Zauda granted self-recognizance bail, 4 others on $322 million bail, and GIADEC close to naming strategic partner for the aluminum industry. So let's go. And government releases 800 million cedis for payment to road contractors. The road contractors must definitely be happy. And there's a story that I'm seeing on page 3 of the Ghanaian Times. It says 21 alleged LGBT activists refuse bail again. And I'm just making reference to this story because we'll be coming to another story, which I believe is the current story. I suspect something must have gone wrong here because in the story itself, it goes on to say that this time the court presided over by Mr. Felix Dachomo remanded them in prison custody to appear again on June 16. And we know that June 16 is, we're way gone past June 16. So it must be a pretty old story that somehow found its way into the Ghanaian Times. And then on page 4, government releases 260 million cedis to settle indebtedness to fertilizer companies. And then I'll go to page 6, mafia fugitive arrested after 2 years on the run. Iran's new hardline president sworn in, and Kumo faces New York impeachment threat. And I believe in Africa and destiny of black race. That's Pastor Mensa Otabil. I'm sure he was speaking at the Greater Works Conference taking place currently. Then we go to, okay, the features, skip the features, and go to page 10. CBAC calls on government, higher learning institutions to support growth of campus radio stations in Ghana. It looks like he's getting a number of newspapers covering
a bit of leverage this morning, yeah.
GBC UNICEF signed MOU for implementation of sensitization projects. And Saglemi Housing Project, I was not involved in any phasing system. That's E.T. Mensa.
I guess that has to do with the headline yesterday. Why do people lie like that?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. All right, and Medina MP appeals for support for death penalty abolition. Now, let me go to the center spread of the Ghanaian Times newspaper, if I can get to that in a bit. Oh, why is... Okay. There now. Now, take a fight against corruption as a special prosecutor is swearing in. So my issue with with this story is the photo that goes with the story. You see,
It's a good photo.
Yeah, well, it's a good photo. Except you see the special prosecutor looking off camera. And the president and Godfrey Dame looking in camera. And that tends to happen a lot because when you're taking a photo, you have so many cameramen coming at you and they're pointing their lenses at you. And then so you're wondering, okay,
wait. So your issue is with the camera, the fact that the dude is not looking at the right camera?
Yeah.
Wow.
And because he was confused by the photographers.
Right. And here I thought you were going to make some political thingy about...
No. Because we need him to be looking into that.
Because as if he can't look into the camera.
And he can't be looking into another camera when the president and the two others.
Let me have a look.
Are looking in another, So the photographers who do that, they should stop that. Don't confuse the people when they're taking photos.
Hey.
It happens a lot at weddings too. So when I'm emceeing, so when I'm emceeing a wedding reception, I'm supposed to guide the people to take the photos. Yeah, I instruct. Okay, you, this cameraman, next. Get out of the way. You, next. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because, before you know, and if I have to be in the photo too, I'll tell everybody, no. Let's look at this cameraman.
Okay, obviously this is a thing for you.
It's a big deal for me.
Yes.
It's a big deal for me. Okay.
I didn't see that coming.
All right, so let's go to the other stories in the Ghanaian Times, now that we've gotten that
out of the
photo
way.
issue out of the way. Ghanaian Service takes delivery of special COVID-19 storage facilities, and GHS sets up validation desk at KI. Now, the delivery of these storage facilities is to help us take on the other vaccines.
Yeah.
Because initially we're doing, the cold chain is very necessary for some of the vaccines. The AstraZeneca was just fine for the system we have in place now, but the others that we're getting on board, would need to have a much more superior technology. Okay, so, and this GHS sets up validation desk at KI has to do with the vaccination cards that we've been giving.
Okay.
So you should be able to validate it, but if you take it and scan the barcode on the back of it, it doesn't give you the right information. It doesn't really work. So they've decided that, and it's a problem. If you have to travel outside and they want to verify your vaccination status.
Why am I not surprised? Sorry, okay.
Okay, but they're finding a way to validate it.
What way?
As you travel
what way are they going to find to validate it?
Oh, take your time.
I'm just asking. Sorry, what way?
We will fix it.
When?
We're fixing everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then some more.
Because you can imagine yourself at JFK or, Heathrow, and they are now scanning the barcode. And then it's some, like I go and then maybe you see Kofi Ajololo's name, pop up, and it's like, at that point, oh gosh. So
essentially, I think what they're trying to do is make it possible that you could maybe get another sticker.
So my question is, why do we not focus on making things work from the beginning so that we don't have to spend more money trying to make things work in the middle? Just make it work from the beginning. How difficult is it? I mean, I'm sure that the whole putting together of that was outsourced to somebody who specializes in all of that and barcode. And somehow it does, like, why? Minisani.
Okay, at this point, I can't answer.
Okay, that's the way you feel about the photography. That's how I also feel about this.
Okay, all right. Government urged to fund treatment of vagrant mentally ill persons.
I agree. I completely agree.
Okay.
Because we're speaking to the Accra Psychiatric Hospital, a few weeks ago, and we were told that, you know what, a lot of people are still stuck in the hospital because they have no family, and there's nobody to just come and pay the bill.
Are they supposed to be paying?
So that they can, there are bills sometimes, there's medicine that they have to buy. Right. And also because sometimes they have to release them to family.
So let me also run to me. Why can't government just pay their bills so that they can go away?
I mean, when it comes to the way we treat people who have mental issues.
I feel that government should be able to absorb their bills so that they can get to
so that they can. And
we can't keep them in there. You see, the more we're keeping them in there, where
the bill is getting higher?
The bill is getting higher. And we don't have enough facilities. So we should get some people out so some more can be admitted.
But vagrants, what does this mean? I'm gonna Google it. Yeah.
We can come back to that. Okay, healthcare providers caution against charging illegal fees. Abilikuma North Assembly places premium on education. Anemia amongst pregnant women in Wa increases. And let's have comprehensive debt management strategy to manage escalating debt that year. That's Dr. John Kwakwache. And again, I see a photo and I see something about the photo and I want to talk about it.
It's okay, go talk about the photo.
It's okay, you gotta leave it there.
Okay, so vagrant means a person without a settled home or regular work who wanders from place to place and lives by begging.
Okay. That's why we need to.
So yes, yeah.
Let's pay their bills.
That's why we need to.
Because who's going to pay for it?
But the thing is, after the bills are paid, they're probably going to go back on the streets and continue to beg.
Do you get an idea why I'm talking about the photo?
Israel, you won't kill me this morning.
Okay.
That's all I can say.
But I don't intend to kill you. ARB Apex Bank introduces mobile banking for RCB customers. Unilever PLC begins process to sell part of tea business. Why are they selling their tea business?
Oh, they're selling their tea business.
And then there's a story on page 28, which is of interest to me. Aka Energy likely to exit Ghana's oil sector. That's according to a report. And I've been trying to find out why government is having to increase the stake, Ghana's stake in the Eka business. I think this could be the reason. So it looks like Aka Energy wants to pull out, and they may want to sell to some others. And so government is like, okay, maybe before we sell to others, before they sell, we have the first rights. So let's just buy it or increase our stake in it. So I get to find out a bit more about that. Now, BLG directs telcos, fintechs, others to provide information on borrower credit behavior. And so let's just go. Okay, so Techi receives Olympics bronze medal. The Ghana relay team set to shine in final. Yes, we're very much looking forward to that. And shortcut for work on Tanoboase Yefri Road to commence. So Teaching Hospital solicits support for Cardio Disease Center.
All right. So that's it for us this morning.
Oh, really?
When it comes to newspapers. You talked so much, Israel. We were not able to do all the newspapers.
Oh, no.
That's just Israel on a Friday morning talking a lot.
Oh, sorry about that.
But it's all
Can I just bring them the front pages of the final newspaper? There's the Finder. Ghana Cote d'Ivoire sign agreement to make Ghana Cocoa headquarters. Okay, backsliding, bickering will not be entertained. And then Kissi Agyabeng has what it takes to succeed. President.
Wait, the president is warning that party leadership are warning MPP members that backsliding. What's backslide? What does that mean? Where you backslide in a political party?
If you backslide, maybe you're with a party and then you backslide and you don't serve the party as well.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then bickering.
All right. Okay.
And, will not be entertained.
And Israel will not go into the newspapers because we have to go for sports, even though he's tempted to. Coming up next is the sports news. And remember that today we're talking about health, we're talking about being overweight, we're talking about obesity, we're also talking about sex. And we also have some gospel music. So it's kind of a buffet this morning. Everything that you need to make your life better here on the AM show. And we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.